Those who took part, all those people who gave money as well, of course. 12 minutes past 9 is the time now.
Matt will have the weather for us in about 4 or 5 minutes. But first, we need to return to our main story, the shootings in Christchurch in New Zealand. They were the deadliest that the country's seen. They happened as people were attending mosque for Friday prayers.
Across the UK, police have stepped up patrols and officers have been offering advice on security.
We're joined now by Moin Azmi, whose father is an imam at North Manchester Jamia Mosque. Good morning to you. You know one of the, a scholar who is in New Zealand, who has travelled to New Zealand, who may have been caught up in one of these shootings. Can you explain what you fear or what you think may have happened?
Hafiz Musa Patel, he has been an imam and a Hafiz for 35 years in Fiji, a prominent individual within the Sufi background, a very peace-loving individual. When he left and departed for New Zealand only 3 weeks ago to retire, 1,000 people turned up at the airport to say goodbye to him. He'd been working there for 35 years and he was looking forward to retire in New Zealand. It was a piece of paradise for him. Very little happened over there in terms of violence. And it's unfortunate that this is his second Friday prayer, that when he attended, this incident happened. It was a shock to us all, and a very, very sad, moving moment.
Just to be clear, your fear is that he was in the mosque, but at this stage, you don't have any details.
No, so at this moment in time, we understand from the wife and the imam, the Hafiz, attended the mosque. The wife escaped. She was still alive. She's in complete and utter shock. She's not able to speak. She's not able to communicate with anyone. She hasn't been informed about the whereabouts of her husband at this stage. The bodies in the mosque are still there. We understand from speaking to the relatives this morning that the police and authorities are not moving the body because it's a crime scene there. And there's over 30 individuals in serious condition in the hospital, in addition to the 49 that were killed.
What information are you being given by the New Zealand authorities? I mean, as we've heard from Jacinda Ardern, the Prime Minister, this is unprecedented. This is the most devastating thing that's happened in recent history in terms of shootings. And you say the bodies are still in the mosque. That must have implications in terms of burial rites, religious beliefs as well.
Absolutely right, Naga. I think we all know that Muslims, part of the faith is that the bodies need to be buried as soon as possible. However, there are exceptions that if the law does not permit, or if there are conditions where that's not possible, then it's a necessity and it's allowed. We understand that New Zealand is not a place where something like this happens regularly, and so we do appreciate, the Muslim community do appreciate that this will take some time. It is a learning experience for the authorities there as well, to be able to deal with this, and I'm sure that they will come around to dealing with it, and hopefully we can identify the imam and reassure the family. We understand the children have flown from Fiji and Australia as well to be with the mother.
I mean, what can you tell us about the concern? We know from authorities here that there has been extra vigilance around mosques here, indeed internationally, as a result of this. What do you know of that?
Well, when I woke up on Friday's a day of happiness and joy because it's a day of celebration for Muslims. And when I heard this, it was just absolutely shocking. Unfortunately, I was forwarded the video that this madman had made, and that made absolutely worse. I was fearful that the mosques would be attacked. So I instantly contacted our North Manchester Jamia Mosque and ensured that the police and the authorities were informed that there was a risk, and that any Muslim that had seen this video or heard of this incident would definitely have felt fear, and they would have been concerned. Luckily, the police were around, so that was nice. It was good to see security there. And when I attended the mosque, very few people attended early, and that's unusual. Usually the mosque gets filled very quickly. But as the hours progressed, we realized that more and more people were attending, and there was an overfill.
I mean, can I just ask you one question? I mean, you mentioned in your answer just then that someone had forwarded you these images.
Yes.
I mean, it immediately begs questions, because one of the things that everyone is saying right now is do not watch it, do not share it. Did you ask yourself questions as to why someone is? You said it was forwarded to you. It was forwarded to you.
I think social media is something very difficult to control at this stage. People are unaware as to what to forward and what not to forward. There needs to be an education. Clearly, this is something that shouldn't have been forwarded. But you have youth, you have individuals who don't understand the complexities of the impact and the effect. It may be that they forwarded because I needed to know, as a member of the community who is involved with the police and the authorities, to make sure that these incidents are dealt with properly. But certainly, I agree that there needs to be restriction on such videos.
Tell me how you feel today in terms of, obviously, we're very concerned about Hafiz Musa Patel and his family and his wife, who is in shock. But also, I looked on social media yesterday and saw a picture of a man, an English man, I'm assuming, outside a mosque with a placard saying, "You are welcome, you are safe. I will watch out for you while you pray." It's also brought out a sense of community in some parts of this country as well. Have you felt that?
Yes, the biggest impact, I would say, for the entire Muslim community was the Prime Minister's statement. That was absolutely wonderful and reassuring. One of the things that she made it very, very clear is that this is an attack on all of us, and the people who live in New Zealand are part of us. That sometimes it may be very subtle for non-Muslims, and it's something that we may forget. But to be included part of the community is something that is strengthening. I understand this, I appreciate this more, because when the bombings happened in Manchester, the MEN incident, we started the peace walk from the mosque to the MEN, the children's peace walk. And one of the wonderful things to see was that passers-by were horning in support and showing their support. And the children were absolutely loving that. They wanted to be part and be accepted as part of the community. So this incident, I think one of the things that we have to keep reassuring the community is that we're not segregated, because unfortunately it is understood quite clearly by the Muslim community that what is being propagated, unfortunately, social media and mainstream media and press, is only negative images and impressions of Muslims. And that's highlighted so much that the non-Muslim community are getting a very skewed impression of Muslims, and these incidents are as a result of that.
Moin, we appreciate you coming and joining us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.